Good morning, Antwerp Archers. It's Friday, April 28th, and it's time for your Archer Morning Update with Mallory Mansfield and Tabby Jones.
Prom weekend is finally here. Coming up, we have a ABC feature that will take us back to see how prom has changed over the years at Antwerp High School. You'll also get to see some pictures of your teachers from their proms in the past, so stick around.
Today we have Zoe King-Bauer and Izzy Gonzalez from 2C to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Will you please stand?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all.
In district news, if you are at least 16 years old or older, remember to sign up for the Red Cross Blood Drive, which will be here Thursday, May 4th. The sign-up sheet is in the high school office. Staff and faculty members are also encouraged to sign up.
In cafeteria news, if you pack your lunch, please bring your own silverware. You cannot take it from the cafeteria. Also, there will be no more charging in the cafeteria as of this coming Monday. All outstanding lunch accounts need to be paid before the end of the school year.
Happy birthday today to Evan Overman in KA turning 6, and to freshman Julia Steiner turning 15. Tomorrow, Colton Stuckey in KC turns 6. 6th grader Luke McKeever turns 12, and 8th grader Lydia Butson turns 14.
Happy birthday on Sunday to Addison Horman and 5B turning 11. Well, we hope you have a great birthday weekend. And elementary students, make sure you stop by the office for your birthday pencils.
And we wouldn't want to forget this faculty member's birthday. If you see Mr. Schott, make sure you wish him a happy birthday. Mr. Schott, Mrs. Bagley wants you to know that she had access to some really embarrassing pictures of you from high school. You owe her a lot of chocolate for not putting them on air today.
On the lunch menu for today, we're having cheese pizza, coleslaw, applesauce, Mooker salad bar.
On the calendar for today, senior presentations continue in the auditoria throughout the day. We finished up state testing with the same exact schedule as yesterday. And some of the juniors will be out today decorating for prom at Grants.
Later this afternoon, junior high track and field hosts the Antwerp Invitational at 4:30. Varsity baseball plays at Fayette, and varsity softball stays at home against Miller City, both at 5. JV baseball also has its makeup game against Hicksville.
Tomorrow, the promenade starts at 6:30 at Grant's Reception Hall. The prom court will be announced at 8 o'clock, and then the dance will start from 8 to 11 p.m. After prom will follow.
Now here's Kayla Bagley from Mrs. Bach's class with your final mini Archer update of the week.
Good morning, Mini Archers. Just a reminder that PTO script fundraisers forms are due today, and make sure you have 50 cents ready for the first grade popcorn fundraiser. They'll be around to sell popcorn throughout the day. Back to you, Tabby and Mallory.
Thanks, Briley. In club and organization news, attention NHS members, volunteers are needed to work the register desk for the Red Cross Blood Drive. The sign-up sheet is in the high school office. You will earn a service hour for your help.
And NHS service hours are due the first week of May, which is next week. All hours must be turned in to attend the May 5th field trip.
The Music Boosters flower sale pickup will be held on the patio on Tuesday, May 2nd. Please make sure you pick up your flowers or someone that represented you and pick them up at that day.
If you're trying out for junior high or high school cheerleading for next school year, don't forget that tryout practices will be held on this Monday from 3 to 4:30. There is also practice on Tuesday from 3 to 4:30, on Wednesday from 3 to 5. It's mandatory that you will be at a minimum of 3 hours of practice in order to try out. You may choose which 3 hours to attend based on your schedule.
Remember that you also need to fill out a cheer tryout form that is available on Mrs. Shar's Google site. This is due by tomorrow.
From the athletic department, the JV baseball game on May 6th has been canceled.
In community news, Safe Start Driving School will have another class beginning the coming Monday, May 1st. If you are interested in attending or have questions, contact Terry Zartman at 419-258-1069.
So how has prom changed over the years? Here's freshman Tabby Jones with an ABC feature that will walk us through the decades and show us some pictures of school employees from their prom-going days.
Prom season is here, with Antwerp High School's prom day approaching on April 29th. Students have been preparing for months, planning decorations, trying to find the perfect outfits, deciding the best way to ask a date, and organizing plans for the evening. A study done by Visa in 2015 showed that the average U.S. family spends over $900 on a prom-going teenager. On top of cost is the issue of time. Mrs. Alicia Hook, one of Antwerp's prom advisors this year, says that the prom committee will spend countless hours preparing for the event. They started planning this past fall. Though this costly and timely process seems normal for most students, it has always been that way. Prom at Antwerp High School has changed quite a bit over the decades. Mrs. Lisa Ryan, an elementary aide at Antwerp Local School, and Mrs. Linda Mavis, an elementary teacher, both graduated from Antwerp High School in 1983. They attended their senior prom 34 years ago. At that time, the school held prom at the old Legion building, now Jerry Snyder's Tool and Die, on Old 24. As for prom decorations, in 1983, they were
really simple. Balloons, crepe paper, we might have had some like twinkling lights, and that was about it.
Mrs. Ryan and Mrs. Mavis recall that somebody bought the decorations and then put them all up in half a day. There were no prom meetings like the many that are necessary today. Mr. Ryan Zuber, a high school teacher at Antwerp Local School, attended his senior prom in 1996, over a decade after Mrs. Ryan and Mrs. Mavis. Prom was held in the new gym, as they called it, which is now the current Mac gym. By the 90s, decorations had become a very timely process. It took the juniors all day on Friday as well into the evening to prepare the gym for prom. The main job consisted of draping fabric from the gym ceiling. However, the process of planning and purchasing all of the decorations started long before that day. Mrs. Katie Shar, one of the younger teachers at Antwerp Local, attended her senior prom in 2006, exactly 1 decade after Mr. Zuber. By that time, prom had moved to Grant's reception hall. The juniors decorated the entire week after school and the entire school day on Friday. Prom attire was also much simpler and much less expensive in 1983. Mrs. Ryan's mom made her prom dress for approximately $70, and Mrs. Mavis's mom took her shopping at Sears or JCPenney's for her prom dress. She thinks it cost between $60 and $80. As for the process of getting ready for prom, Mrs. Mavis said it wasn't much different than any other day, taking just
The normal amount of time. Basically, you washed your hair and put some makeup on and put your dress on and you went to prom.
By the time Mrs. Shar went to prom, that simple process had definitely changed. But it's a fun memory for Mrs. Shar.
My mom does makeup. She does makeup for Mary Kay. So it has been a tradition every year that she would do my makeup and my friends' makeups for all the dances. So it's kind of fun because we would set up our kitchen and everyone would come in, and throughout the day people would just come in all morning to get their makeup done by her, and she didn't mind.
Today, most students go out to eat before prom, sometimes in a rented limo or special vehicle. When they arrive at prom, they are announced to the many parents and community members gathered to watch, and they walk down the red carpet to enter Grant's reception hall. In 1983, this wasn't the case. Mrs. Ryan and Mrs. Mavis's parents took pictures, and then the prom goers climbed into their date's newly washed car and went directly to prom. There was no promenade beforehand, and parents weren't involved other than the quick photo shoot at home. Because they didn't go out to eat before prom, underclassmen served a meal to all of the prom guests. By the time of Mr. Zuber's senior prom, students started going out to eat before the prom dance. Because of that, there were only snacks and punch provided at the prom. By 1996, the promenade was an established part of prom, and parents were much more involved. Mr. Zuber's after prom was also held at the old school, part of it being in the current Essen House restaurant, which used to be the high school cafeteria. There was a classroom set up as a movie theater, a casino where students could play cards, karaoke, inflatables set up in the gym, and sumo suits. Mrs. Shar experienced a similar after prom. She especially remembers the hypnotist and dodgeball. In 1983, however, there was no after prom following the prom dance. Students went home, went to a party at someone's house, or went bowling. Over the past 4 decades, there have been some consistencies when it comes to prom. One is that there has always been a prom court. Both Mrs. Ryan and Mrs. Shar were on their prom courts, and Mrs. Ryan was prom queen. Now Mrs. Shar and Mr. Zuber think the biggest difference between their proms and prom today are the creative and often elaborate invitations to prom. According to the 2015 Visa survey, these promposals are setting some U.S. teens back as much as $324. Overall, Mrs. Mabus recalls of her senior prom in 1983.
It was simple, but everybody really enjoyed it.
Today, though it may cost more and require more time and effort, many students still share the same sentiment. As Senior Peyton Short puts it, I'm really looking forward to this year's prom. I'm excited to see what the juniors do with the theme. I know prom will be a great experience with my friends.
Thanks, Tabby. With that, we're done for the day. Have a great day, everyone, and an even better weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday morning. Only 14 more days to go.